Hey guys, welcome back to Talking with Tyler. And on today's podcast, I will be recapping the Bills versus Jets game that happened this past Sunday afternoon. And I have my dad back here again. So, welcome back, Dad.
Thanks for having me, Tyler.
You're welcome. So, this was definitely not the best game for the Jets and all aspects of it. They got blown out 30-10. So, what were your thoughts on the offense? Like they only scored 10 points and their first touchdown came in the fourth quarter. So what were your thoughts on that?
There was offense being played in that game by the Jets. I didn't see too much of it. Unfortunately, the Jets just did not look good. It was a tale of two different teams from the first time that they played against the Steelers and the way they played against the Bills were just two totally different things. Justin Fields was only 3 for 11 with a total of 27 yards. 3 for 11, that's 27%. Had a QBR rating of 40, which is absolutely abysmal. Jets just could not get anything going. It was 3 and out. Buffalo went down and scored. Then on the very next possession, Justin Fields fumbled the ball, and the Bills got it. And from that point over, it was pretty much it.
Yeah, not much really happened in this one, but I feel like Garrett Wilson is still consistent. He had 4 receptions for 50 yards. He keeps continuing to catch the ball, and Jeremy Ruckert had his first touchdown as a Jet, so that was good to see because our tight ends need to really do something this year because we don't really have that wide receiver number 2. And Josh Reynolds is hurt, so I feel like they need somebody to fill that gap. And Breece Hall, he was electric in week 1. He didn't really show up too much in this one. He had 10 attempts for 29 yards. So what are your thoughts on the run game? Are you liking what you're seeing from that side of the game?
I mean, I liked Breece Hall in the first game, but they just didn't get the ball enough. The time of possession was really lacking on the Jets' part, and again, we talk about it all the time. You know, picking the right quarterback, it just changes the complexion of your whole entire organization, not just the game, not just the season. It's for a decade, and unfortunately, the Jets have been searching for seems like almost forever since Joe Namath, but the Bills found their quarterback, and they found their guy. Josh Allen, 14 for 25, 148 yards. Not stellar numbers, but did enough, to win the game. He did it with his legs. He did it with his patience, and ultimately did a really, really, nice job. Again, it's just James Cook had 132 yards, 21 carries. He averaged 6. I think when we were at the game, we talked about, what did we say? That every first down they were getting 4 to 5 yards, chunk yards, and every second down was 2nd and 4, 2nd and 5, and there were manageable downs where they were able to run or they were able to pass. And the Jets just could not get anything going, and the Bills just, again, took us to task.
Yeah, definitely. The Bills, top-notch team in the AFC, and I feel like the whole NFL, there's only a couple undefeated teams right now. They're 2-0. There's not many other teams that are undefeated, so the Bills are definitely up there. And James Cook, 132 yards. He definitely helped in this Bills win. Josh Allen didn't do much, but I also want to go back to the Jets side of things. Tyrod Taylor came into the game because Justin Fields came out in the fourth quarter due to a concussion injury, and they announced today on Wednesday that he'll be out for Sunday. So what are your thoughts about Tyrod Taylor starting? Do you have high hopes for him?
Yeah, I mean, he's a formidable QB backup, and he's been in this league for a while. He's been a number 1 backup, and he's also been a starter. Actually played for the Bills for a couple years, and he's definitely serviceable. And At this point in time, I hate to say it's only week 3, but the Jets got to try and look for a little bit of lightning in a bottle. If Fields is going to be out with a concussion protocol, um, listen, we'll basically try anything at this point in time. We talked about it. The Bills had the ball for 38 minutes to the Jets 21, 25 first downs to the Jets 11, total yardage 403, 154 for the Jets. Passing yards 179 to the Jets 54. Bills 224 rushing yards to the Jets 100. Penalties were equal. Return yards, Jets had a lot because they kept getting the ball after the other team was scoring. But I got a question for you. I mean, we talk about our new coach, and he comes in with a defensive mindset, and he lets up 403 yards. He lets up 30 points this game. 32, 33 points last week against the Steelers. And the Steelers, I'm not saying the other shoe dropped yet with them, but they didn't play well in week 2. So where's the defense? Where are these? Where are the linemen putting pressure on the quarterback? Where are corners and our safeties and our middle linebackers? We just don't look like a quality defensive team. If this team's going to be predicated on defense, I don't see it as of yet.
Me either. I feel like the secondary is really what's been killing the Jets on the defensive side of things. But I feel like the Jets really continue to get sacks on the quarterback. The Jets in this one had 4 sacks, I think. Let me just double check that.
Yeah, there were a couple times too where Josh Allen was running out of the pocket and just threw the ball away. Had a couple intentional grounding calls, which I think would have been sacks.
I know it was only 1 sack, but I feel like they really had some nice tackles. I feel like the first game, I feel like they had a couple missed tackles, but I feel like the tackling was better. I saw, but they still let some wide receivers get some big chunk yards. Let me look on the Bills side of things.
Yeah.
So, what were your thoughts on the defense? They just really didn't do much. I feel like they let up another game with 30 points given up. So, what does this defense have to do to put the Jets in the game?
Well, I mean, they're on the field too often because our offense is struggling and we're going 3 and out or we're turning the ball over. So that doesn't help. But, they always talk about doing, their job, not doing more than that. So each individual has to look at themselves. The D-line has to do a better job of getting a push against their offensive line, trying to, maintain their edges. I think our linebacking core with Sherwood and Williams is pretty good. But then once we get out beyond Sauce, Sauce got a couple of times. He let up some passes, which is going to happen. You're not going to expect them to be Darrelle Revis. But in the same respect, Stevens has not played well again. It's 2 consecutive games where he has not looked good. And, again, they got beat in all 3 phases. They got beat in special teams. They got beat on offense and on defense. And again, Jet fans, what are you doing? You're selling your tickets, and the crowd it's got to be 50-50. It might even be 60-40 on opposed to the opponents. I know Steelers and Bills are close and they travel well, but these are 2 beginning home games, and there's just nothing but black and gold and blue and red in the stadium, and it's pretty disheartening.
Yeah, definitely. I feel like the Jets fans really need to step up. So if you're out there at home and you're a Jets fan, definitely continue buying it. Continue to support your team, and I feel like try to get to a game if you could, because I feel like that noise really helps the Jets team and their motivation. But another thing I wanted to point out with the Jets, I really like this kick returning, and they got rid of Xavier Gibson a couple days ago, and now Isaiah Davis is now the new kick returner, and he had 5 attempts for 134 yards, and his average was 26.8. So I feel like if if you keep getting 25 yards on average, I feel like that's really going to set up the offense to get at least like 3 points every possession. If like they get 10 yards, they would be around like midfield. So I feel like they just need the kick returning to be consistent like this. So what are your thoughts on the kick returning? Are you supportive of it?
I mean, again, with the new kicking rules, you're catching the ball at the 5 yard line. You're getting 20 yards before anyone even touches you. I did not see any explosive plays, but maybe they're going to come down the road. But I do like Isaiah Davis, and he's serviceable. But if you're putting your season on how your kick returns are going to be, you're going to be in for a really long season. And we talked about it coming home on the car ride. We talked about it over the last couple days. We figured this was going to be a pretty short podcast because there wasn't really much to talk about with the Jets. Studs and duds and Tyler's takeaways. I'd love to see what your takeaways are. For this game and upcoming. We're playing Tampa Bay in Tampa Bay. Baker Mayfield coming off of a crazy 2-minute drill where they were able to come down and score and beat the Falcons on, was that Sunday night or Monday night? Sunday night. On Sunday night. So it'll be interesting to see the Jets go there and see one of their old former coaches who seems to be having some success over there. But again, Baker Mayfield has been playing really, really well. He has some weapons, and the Jets are licking their wounds right now. So if they were somehow to manufacture a win, start getting into a little bit of an easier stretch of games. But again, if they don't step up and play better, they're going to be the one that every other team circles on the schedule and put a W next to, which we don't want. So what are your takeaways, Tyler?
So this was definitely just not a great game at all aspects. This was another game like last couple seasons where it just got out of hands. So I'm just really surprised that the Jets played this way because against the Steelers they came out with a lot of firepower, scoring 30+ points, really competitive game against Aaron Rodgers, their former Jet quarterback. I'm just really shocked by the way they played against the Bills because I feel like that playing the Steelers and playing a close game, I feel like that would really give them motivation and uplift them for the next game, but that really didn't. So I feel like the Jets, Justin Fields did not have a good game at all. 3 completions for 11 attempts. Just he kept missing his guys, and Tyrod came in there and he looked a little bit better, but it was in garbage time.
Garbage time, yep.
So it just Brees Hall didn't do much. I thought after having a 100-yard game, I thought he would really break out, but he didn't. And I said Garrett Wilson earlier continues to be the spotlight on the Jets offense. 4 receptions for 50 yards. And the defense continues to struggle. I thought this defense would really be good this year, but I feel like they're still like getting back into it. But I feel like once they play like the Falcons, I feel like they're very winnable. I feel like it's going to be a lot better for them. And Nick Folk on the veteran side of things for kicking, he continues to make his kicks. So I feel like if he keeps making his kicks, I feel like the Jets are really going to be in a good spot. I feel like they're going to be competitive like that.
Yeah, I mean we have to get the field goal range. We have to cross the 50-yard line. So that hasn't been a definite. But again, you gave a quick shout out. I think my stud would be for this game would be it's hard to pick anybody, but I would say Ruckert. He's a hometown hometown player, hometown kid, family's huge fan. It was nice to see him get his first touchdown, even though it was towards the end of the game and somewhat meaningless, but maybe not meaningless to him. He's done everything that he's supposed to do. He's caught just about every ball, got a touchdown there. He's still blocking pretty well, chipping off of the edge. So I give Jeremy Ruckert or at least my stud of the game, but I know it's hard to select. Who do you have, Tyler?
I have Nick Folk because I feel like he really keeps making his kicks, like I mentioned just minutes before. I just feel like if the Jets continue to get 3 points, I feel like that's really gonna be good. I feel like that's gonna be crucial. I feel like Nick Folk making those kicks. I feel like it can benefit in the long run. I feel like if the games are close, it could be like a game-winning field goal. I feel like that's
Yeah, anytime that you could get points on the board, anytime you have a possession, you don't really want to end in a punt. You want to end in a kickoff, and that means you either scored a touchdown or you scored a field goal. So in this league now, people are kicking 50, 55 yarders like they used to be extra points. Guys are hitting 60, 65. You saw the Dallas game where a guy hit a 60-something yarder. It would have been good from 70. So it's pretty amazing what these kickers are doing, and we just got to get the offense to get the team down in field goal position. Do you have anybody for a dud? Or could you pick anybody, or you want to just say the whole Jets organization?
I'm gonna say Justin Fields because I set him as my stud for the first game, and he definitely did not live up to that with 8 incompletions, and he just really looked
And
lost in this one.
And a fumble.
Fumble, yeah, too. So that was that just really turned the momentum around. So Justin Fields would be my dud. Who's your dud?
It's hard to pick one. I would say as of right now, it's I'm gonna have to say each individual player is gonna have to definitely take a hard look in the mirror. But I mean, it goes back to coaching. Some of these other teams are ready to play, and it looks like we're not. And again, you see the post game, and they interview Aaron Glenn. And again, I'm not bashing Aaron Glenn, and I'm not saying he's the answer, and I'm not saying he's definitely the problem. I'm just saying I'm getting to the point where I'm sick and tired of hearing coaches, or actually not all coaches, the Jets coaches say, I have to look at the tape. We're going to take a look at the tape. We're going to get back to it on Monday and Tuesday or Wednesday, and we're going to fix this thing. We're going to turn around. Well, whatever happened to making in-game decisions, making evaluations on what's going on, and making changes during your possession, making changes at the end of the first quarter, at the end of half, in halftime, and then coming back and doing something different. It seems like coaches always, or the good coaches, always do that. And again, in our press conference, whether you're just trying to be close to the vest or whatever the case may be, stop saying, I got to look at the tape. I don't really know. I got to look at the tape. And then once I look at the tape, we're going to go back and we're going to fix it. Well, you already lost. You already lost to that team. So going back and fixing it doesn't do anything. Yeah, you want to fix it for next week, but start making some adjustments. Coaches on this level are supposed to put people in positions to be successful. And that's in the immediate. That's in the play, that's in the series, that's in the quarter, that's in the half, that's in the game. So that's what I would like to see, and I'd like to hear a little bit more of that, and I'd like to see them practice what they preach. We have 30-something coaches on the sideline. Everyone should be able to give one of their players some sort of advice or some sort of motivation to have them play better or go out there and make a play. And I just don't see that quite yet. Season's still young. It's only 2 games in, but I think they said that teams that start 0-2 or 0-3, I think it is 0-3, only 12% of them have ever made the playoffs in the history of the NFL. So that doesn't bode too well. So we need the Jets to step up against Tampa Bay this upcoming week.
I hope so. So the Buccaneers will be home for Sunday, and the Buccaneers are coming off that 20-19 win over the Texans. Baker Mayfield, 25 for 38, 215 yards, 2 touchdowns, no interceptions. So I feel like Baker Mayfield has really been good. I feel like his numbers are pretty up there. I feel like if I remember correctly, you said the other day how he had near better yards than
stats than
Josh
Allen. Yeah, when they put up, I think his last 2 years worth of stats, they were very comparable, and in most areas he was slightly a tick above. So anytime that you're mentioning the same name of Josh Allen, I think you're doing pretty well. But so Tyler, I'm hoping we haven't gone back and listened to the podcast, but Tell us about some of this new equipment that you have here.
All right, so my grandfather gave me some money for like my all my hard work, and my parents, my mom and dad, they got me this roadcaster equipment, and now I have two microphones in my room. So I want to thank my mom, my dad, and my grandfather out there for everything that I got. It's been helpful, and I'm using it right now, so I'm just really thankful, and I'm happy that I have it, and my audio's back to what it was normally like before all the issues that I had.
Yeah, I mean we're very proud of you, and want to be supportive of your goals and dreams. So want to make sure that you have the proper equipment. So we do want to thank Grandpa and Mom and Dad, and we used a little bit of your money from your work over the summer as well. Put it in here, but this Rodecaster Pro 2 seems like it's going to be aces for you. So still have some tweaks and some things to work out. We have a Bluetooth capability now, so that you're able to take phone calls in and hear the guest just as well as the announcers as yourself. So we're going to try and test and tune and try and work out any of the bugs or the kinks that we might have, and try and prevent any feedback in games and gains and different things like that. And we have these music pads here too that you could press, and you could distort your voice, or you could play music. I think we got to get some Jets. We got to get some Jet chants on here. We maybe have to get some pre stuff loaded in. So we'll be working on that. Tyler will be working hard, trying to get that and trying to up his game. So, Tyler, I think we're going to sign off here, right?
Yep. So let's do a Jets chant to change up the luck, because last week we didn't do one and they lost. So let's see if that changes it. Change it up. Jets, Jets. Thank you guys all for listening out there. Have a great rest of your day, and let's go Jets.